Good afternoon and welcome to the GrTwosdays Championship with the Ultimate Racing League. We are here in Belgium. We are at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit. As many of you be aware, this is probably, as with Suzuka, one of the most iconic tracks on the game. And ever present in the Formula One season. It has had a few years where it's not been present, but it was one of 7 tracks in the inaugural F1 season in 1950, along with tracks that are still in the calendar today: Silverstone, Monaco, Monza, and obviously Spa. So those 4 circuits still standing today. The guys will be taking the GR2 cars around this circuit. Bit of a change of pace for this circuit. They are a bit of a handful, but they are very, very, very quick. So you should see some cracking lap times from the guys. So without further ado, we shall get down the grid first. We'll talk through qualifying, and then we'll get the race underway. So as you can see on pole, we have Kevin, the runaway leader in the championship, the winner of every race up until now. So he'll be looking to make the most of pole position and continue on his way to the League One title of the GrTwosdays Championship. In second place, we have Manos with another cracking performance, following up last week's performance. We haven't seen him up on the sharp end of the grid much before last week, and he's gone and put it on second on the grid for this week as well. So good work from Manos. In third place, we've got Panos, second in the championship. Outperformed Fitzy last week to put some more points into his defense of second place, and he's in third place again. And guess who he's got for company in fourth place? You've got it. We've got Fitzy. So Fitzy is still looking to keep the pressure on Panos in the championship race for second, as it does look like Kevin, all bar some mistakes or some absences, has got this thrown up at this early stage of the season. In fifth place, we've got Titters. Great performance from Titters there in fifth place. Again, improving leaps and bounds week on week, and he's stuck it on in fifth on the grid. And a return to the upper positions for Enzo Jack, which is nice to see. He seems to be working on those technical issues we mentioned last week and has found some pace this week. So good stuff from Enzo Jack in sixth. In seventh, we've got Mr. Sixth, TLR Smith. Let's see if this week results in another sixth place finish to keep himself in fourth place in the championship battle alongside Manos. And in eighth place, we have P. White. Good stuff from P. White there. And Dragon in ninth. Rossi in 10th. And then we've got Monkey down in 11th. We are missing a few of the guys. Again, a few issues with passports, a few issues with cars. So it's a bit of a shame to have a reduced grid, but at this last stage in the season, parts are wearing out, cars are wearing out, issues are arising. So hopefully we'll have some more on the grid for you next week's race. But as for today, we've got 11 on the grid. So let's get this 24-lap race around Belgium underway. The klaxon's going, and off they go as HKRT Kevin takes us down the straight towards the first section of the lap. We are at the 24-hour circuit, so the pit exit is on the right, just as you see there as they go over the white line. Pit exit on the right there as we come up towards the right-hander at the end of the straight. All on the brakes, as it looks like everybody is getting round turn one nice and clean. And good stuff from the guys. Titters and Smith battling away. Already looking to gain some place. That's Dragon and P. White back there. As P. White goes deep. P. White has missed his braking zone and gone wide. And that has given the impetus there to Dragon, who's now putting pressure on Titters. He's lost his place to Smith. Smith up into sixth already. Mr. Sixth himself has made his way up to sixth already. And he's looking to pull away as Dragon looks to stick up the inside of Titters, and he does so. And he makes that stick as Titters gets onto the curb and loses a little bit of grip. As Rossi now looking to come at Titters. Titters looking to go backwards at this early stage of the race. As they come through, and Smith going wide there. Hopefully he doesn't pick up a penalty, but it has put Dragan right on his rear end as he comes through, and Titters looking to have a bit back on Dragan. Rossi also having a look at Dragan at the inside. We'll stay with these guys as they come round towards the back end of this lap along this straight. As Titters now on the inside of Smith. Titters up the inside of Smith, and a little bit of argy-bargy, and Dragan on the inside of Rossi. Titters still there with Smith, and Smith, oh no, Smith's gone. Where's Smith gone? What happened there? It looks like, let's go on board with Smith. We've lost Smith. He's gone round, and Titters and Smith battling for position, and Dragan and Rossi back. Titters onto the grass, and then as they go around the left-hander, oh, it looks like he gets a little nudge there from Dragan. It just puts him into a spin and into the barrier. Absolutely guts him there for Smith. Up in the sixth at the early stage of the race, as Titters and Dragan still battling away. There's Smith with it all to do now from the back of the grid. He's looking to get himself back up and running, but he is going to have some damage, so we'll leave him to gather himself as we watch these guys move on into lap 2. As Rossi now looking to stick out the inside of Dragan. He gets good exit on the inside of Dragan there, and he has made that place stick into turn 1. So great stuff there from Rossi to get that position nice and early into that lap. And Dragan looking like he's impacted from that earlier incident and struggling a little bit. As Monkey now up on the inside of P. White. Is Dragan going to dive to the inside and out of the slipstream onto the entrance into the chicane? No, he backs off. He thinks better of it, and everybody gets through nice and cleanly. Go back up and see how the guys at the top of the grid are doing. Fitzy, Panos, Manos, all three in a row. It looks like they are just stuck to each other like glue at this stage. As Kevin just starting to clear. Oh no, we've lost Fitzy. Fitzy's gone. What happened to Fitzy there? He's come round. Everything looked absolutely fine, all following the lines. Maybe he's got on the power a little bit early. He's up on the... Oh, he's got on the curb and he's just got on the power, and it's just span him round and put him into the barrier. Absolutely gutting there for Fitzy, and he's just gone backwards as well. So we've lost Smith and Fitzy at this early stage. Both of them now with loads to do to try and make up those places to get some good championship points on the table. Absolutely gutting. But Kevin is rubbing his hands there. He's just disappearing now into the distance with everybody battling behind him. Manos and Panos, both of the HKRT racing team, looking now to settle down and just tip the laps over really and make their strategy work in their favour. But in amongst all that, Enzo Jack has got past Titters, so Enzo Jack up into 4th as Titters now looks to come back at him, and he does so. He gets up the inside. A little bit of a mistake there probably from Enzo Jack, leaving that door open as they now head off down. Enzo Jack tucked up in the slipstream. Is he going to make a move up the inside? No, he again thinks better of it, just keeps it tight in behind Titters as they head across the line to start lap 3. But Enzo Jack has got the drag there on Titters. He's tucked up in behind. Is he going to go up the inside? He goes to the inside. He dives in. He gets it tight on the apex, but he hasn't quite got the drive as Titters gets a great exit and heads on up through Eau Rouge. Try and get some corner names in here for you, because this is a track with some iconic corner names and legendary corners that you wish you could race every week. As Enzo Jack now moves across out of the slipstream to take the inside line into the chicane, and he does so, and he's up the inside and he makes that place stick. A good little battle here from between Titters and Enzo Jack. Enzo Jack just getting the better of him at this early stage of lap 3. Looks to have settled down a little bit between the two of them now, so we'll just have a little blip down through the grid, see if there's anything else going on while we watch through. So everybody looking a little bit spread out, and Smith at the back there struggling to make up the ground after his earlier incident. That's Kevin, let's go faster again. Clearing off now, a good gap on the mini-map there as HKRT Panos and Manos look to solidify second and third. Enzo, Jack and Titter still within touching distance of each other. So I think this could be a battle that's going to go on for a fair few laps as Titter is now in the slipstream of Enzo Jack coming into the chicane. As they come across the line to start lap 4. It looks like Rossi and Monkey and P. White are looking to get a bit closer, but Monkey getting right up the rear end of Rossi there. Have a little look, see if Titters is see how Titters and Enzo Jack doing. So Enzo Jack looking good there. Monkey looking at the inside of Rossi, but he don't quite have it. But he is going to have the slipstream as they head off up into Radion and Eau Rouge. I always thought that the whole sector, like many people, was just Eau Rouge this corner, but I'm pretty certain Eau Rouge is the top part and Radion is the bottom part, so I'll probably get corrected as Monkey now moves to the inside out of the slipstream to get the move done on Rossi. Does he make it stick as they head into the apex? He does, so he gets the move done and he's up the inside of Rossi and heading off up the road after Titters. So yeah, it's obviously correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe that is to be the case. Radion and then Eau Rouge at the top part, as they and then obviously they head on up towards the chicane up the Kennel Straight. But as we are watching Rossi and Monkey, we are currently on the back end of the lap, and this being Puon, I believe. Another iconic corner name for you there that you would have heard mentioned by the many greats of commentary in Formula One. Well, mainly Murray Walker, Martin Brundle, Crofty, amongst others that you would have heard commentating on F1 races over the years. Let's have a look, see where Titters and Enzo Jack. So Enzo Jack looks to have pulled out a little bit of a gap there on Titters as they move towards the chicane around Blanchimont. Another iconic corner name, I'm getting good at this. As they head through the chicane across the start-finish lines, finish lap 4. These laps coming thick and fast for you. These cars getting round in low 2-minute lap times. The GR3 cars that we often see around this track are normally doing sort of in around the 2:15, 16, 17 sort of mark. These cars are somewhere between 10 and 15 seconds faster in the right hands, and these guys looking good on their lap times at the moment. As Titters has got the slipstream there on Enzo Jack. So Titter's going to be looking to make use of that. Is he going to be close enough? It doesn't look like he is. So as you were at the moment, it's very difficult to look at passing through this section. Quite a fast left-right section, but then there is the opportunity to dive up the inside round the hairpin, but nothing doing there as Enzo keeps it tight to the inside, out wide, and then coming back across for the left-hander. But he's lost a little bit of ground there, and Titters is now tucked right up in behind him, right underneath his rear wing. As I've just spotted, Fitzy has made it past P. White and Rossi behind us while we've been watching Enzo Jack and Titters. I don't know if that... Let's have a little look, see where that happened. So it looks like coming up to the chicane, so he's got past P. White earlier on, and he's then coming through to start lap 5 as P. White gets a bit out of shape there. And he gets the move done before the source, so he gets up the inside, keeps it nice and tight, and gets the drive out of the corner. So good stuff from Fitzy to move himself back up in 6th after his earlier spin. Oh, wrong way. Let's get back up to where we were, with Titters and Enzo Jack battling away for 4th place. So we went through this bit, so let's get the... Yep, there we go, we got the exit with Titters tucked back up in behind Enzo Jack, heading on down to Puon and round. I say I feel bad for Kevin out in front, but he's so fast and out on his own at the moment in these races that I'd have nothing to talk about if I was watching Kevin. So he does suffer with a lack of coverage whilst we got battles going on out in the field, but it's not because we don't like him. It's just well, just needs to slow down a bit, doesn't he? Let's be honest. As Enzo Jack now takes us round the latter part of this lap, around Blanchimont and into the chicane. As Panos and Manos look to be nip and tuck still. Oh, good job we went back there. Let's go back and see what's happening with Tidders. He's got a bit out of shape. So they're coming down into the braking zone. He's having a little look. Nothing doing there. Enzo Jack goes deep. That's caught Tidders out, and he's managed to just retain control. Oh, good drift there as he's fighting with that car on the exit. That exit of the chicane as they come onto the start-finish straight is an absolute nightmare to try and get that power down, especially if you're not running any traction as Enzo Jack isn't. But Tidders is running traction. Was still struggling a little bit there to get that car under control, but he managed to save it. Nothing lost as you are there. Looking a little bit dark in the clouds there. Guys would be hoping that comes to nothing. Belgium and Spa, they do tend to offer up a bit like Suzuka. The weather forecast, the weather looks like it's about to turn and then it doesn't, and then all of a sudden you'll have nice blue skies and the sun, and then the heavens will open. So they'll be hoping for nothing happening there. There's a bit of tyre school there from Enzo as he makes his way around, but he's going to have the edge on Tidders there. So let's go and have a little look back to see what else is happening. As P. White and Rossi looks to be battling. Rossi looks to have made a bit of a mistake somewhere and has dropped back behind P. White. So he's going to be looking to make moves on there. Dragan battling back through, and yeah, we've lost. Oh, I missed that earlier. I thought there was somebody battling with Fitzy and Rossi earlier, but I didn't pick up on the fact that we'd lost Monkey. So I'm not sure what happened to Monkey. We won't go back because that is probably something that happened quite a bit away. So, but it does mean that Smith has now got a target to lock onto. So he'll be glad of that. Something to work towards, something to push towards. And before we start seeing guys coming into the pits, let's have a little look at the tyres, see what strategies are going to be unfolding. There's Kevin there on the hard tyres, as we've come to expect. Well, with the exception of the last race, the HKRT guys seem to have got their strategy down with the hard tyres to start the race with. Half a tank of fuel, so he's doing well on the old fuel saving, looking to make inroads there. And Manos and Panos, Panos has really closed up to the back of Manos now, so it looks like he will have the opportunity to make a move. Manos there on the hard tyres, similar fuel usage to Kevin. And Panos there also on the hard tyres in a similar position. So these two, we'll just stick with these as they head on up over Eau Rouge and along the Kennel Straight. And Panos moves to the outside, so Manos has gone defensive, but it does look like Panos has got the legs there to make the move stick on the entry. He is purple by a good quarter of a second there. It's a great stuff from Panos early on in this lap 7. Making moves and looking to solidify that second place he currently occupies in the championship. So anyway, as we were, so Enzo Jack there looks to have followed suit with the hard tyres to start the race on. Fuel saving as well, looking a little bit worse off than the guys up ahead, but still looking good for a decent stint on the hard tyres there. As Tidder's also on the hard tyres, but Tidder's looking even worse on the fuel, so working those tyres a little bit harder as well. Actually, he's working them a little bit less, so he's doing well on the tyres but using a bit more fuel, so a little bit of a different approach there from Tidder's. Fitzy also on the hard tyres, really heavy on the fuel for Fitzy, so he's going to be looking to come in a little bit earlier than the guys in front. Might have a strategy where he's going to try and go long on the mediums perhaps. As P. White also on the hards for the first stint of the race. Dragan on the hards. The first medium runners is Monkey in 9th on looking good. Well, I say looking good, we don't actually know what happened to Monkey. He dropped back a few places, so not looking so good, to be honest. And Smith also on the hard tyres, looking good on the fuel though, as he's aiming to make his way up through the grid. Dragan also on the hard tyres. Sure we said that. I've missed that. And Rossi at the back. So Rossi has pitted. I don't know what I would imagine with the pace, because we know Rossi's got some pace underneath him in that car. He must have been on the hards on his first stint, so he's come in early on lap 6, at the end of lap 6, to change onto those medium tyres. So maybe he just wasn't getting on with the hard tyres, and he's looking to go really long on the mediums and make use of the quicker compound. See if he can make the fuel last. As we head back up to see how Kevin's getting on up in first. A long way out in front now, making everybody look like they're just walking round really. But there we go. Great stuff from Kevin. And Panos has kept hold of that second place after he's passed Manos, and looking good there in second, stretching his legs a little bit over Manos, creating that gap. Now Enzo Jack there looking good in fourth. It looks like he's broken the spirit a little bit of Tidders there, so he's stretched a little bit of a gap out. Can he maintain that through the back end of what will be the first stint? Oh, big amount of oversteer. Oh, loads of oversteer there from Enzo Jack. He's pushing those hard tyres, looking to let go mid corner there. Nearly caught him out, but he managed to save it. But he has lost a load of time, and you can see Tidders now closing right up on the rear end of Enzo Jack in that slipstream. So is he going to have he's got all the momentum there, so is he going to have a dive up the inside, or is he going to hold station? No, he has held station, kept it in behind, but he is tight. And they both dived into the pit. So end of lap 8, we've got, was that Fitzy going in as well? No, Fitzy has carried on round. So end of lap 8, we've got Enzo Jack and Tidders diving into the pits to get rid of those hard tyres. The Fitzy carries on, with P White also carrying on those hard tyres. Monkey not coming in either, and neither is Smith, so these guys are going to stay out. So maybe Tidders and Enzo Jack looking to try something a little bit different. There's Dragan also coming round on those hard tyres. Is Dragan going to get past as Enzo Jack and Tidders looking to take on what I'd imagine would be a full tank of fuel at this end of this first stint? Enzo Jack saving quite a bit more fuel than Tidders, so that is going to benefit him when he comes out of the pits. The Dragan now does move past Enzo Jack and Tidders. And where is Rossi coming out? Rossi having already pitted, remember, and already on those medium tyres. As he comes round the source to head on up to Eau Rouge. Enzo Jack looks like he's just leaving the pits now. So it does look, and Tidders as well. So it does look like both of these guys will, yeah, they both have got out in front of Rossi. So the Rossi looking a little bit closer than he was to these guys. Well, a lot closer than he was. So he's actually made some real good use, because he's got past Tidders. So he's got past Tidders on the Kennel Straight. So great stuff from Rossi there. Getting that early changeover done. He's managed to undercut Tidders and move up a place. So he's up in 10th. Obviously the guys in front still to pit. But Rossi was a little bit back from these guys before that point. So good stuff from Rossi. As Enzo Jack has benefited from saving that extra bit of fuel, and he's got a good gap now back to Tidders as well. So good stuff from Enzo Jack. As we look up at Kevin going round again for lap 10. Sorry, lap 11 I think. No, it was lap 10. There's Panos and Manos, and we've got Fitzy in. The P White staying out for another lap, and we've got Fitzy in at the end of lap. That would have been the end of lap 10. No, the end of lap 9, sorry. Smith also staying out. Monkey staying out on those medium tyres, so he's pushing those medium tyres. Dragan also now into the pits. for the end of his first stint, get rid of those hard tyres. Interestingly, Kevin, Panos and Manos have all stayed out on those hard compound tyres, as Enzo, Jack, Rossi and Tidders are coming through to start their lap 10. As it does look like they are going to, all three of them get through and past Fitzy. Great stuff coming up through there. So they have all made it out before Fitzy has left the pits. So Fitzy's still got lots of work to do after his earlier spin. Dragan heading out of the pits now in last place as well. Kevin all on his own there, heading into the chicanes and now diving into the pits at the end of lap 10. So Kevin at the end of lap 10 getting rid of those hard tyres. Look at that, 12% fuel, 12 litres of fuel left, which is some impressive fuel saving there, as Panos and indeed Manos also now dive into the pits. You can see how much fuel Kevin has managed to save. Great, crazy stuff there from Kevin. As P. White also, I think he must have. He's dived into the pits. Sounded like he hit the wall there on the entry. Monkey now also diving into the pits on those medium tyres, as is Smith. So Smith diving into the pits. There we go. So it's been interesting to see what tyres these guys come out on, as Enzo Jack now comes round with Rossi and Tidders both there for company. That Enzo Jack's has lost a lot of time there, because these guys had a good gap and now they're right on his rear end, as Rossi all over the back of Enzo Jack looking to make a move now as they come down. Enzo Jack goes defensive, gets to the inside, but he's still got the edge. He gets across and through the chicane. All out of sorts there over the bum, and Rossi is going to have the drive now going down into the source. So is he going to get that move done before the hairpin, or through the hairpin even, as Enzo Jack keeps it tight? Tidders looking to have a go as well, as Rossi does get that move done, and Tidders now in the slipstream of Rossi, looking to get past Enzo Jack before they head up through Radion and into Rouge. And he does. He gets that move done. So Enzo Jack losing 2 places at the start of lap 11, as Rossi and Tidders look to make moves, and P. White in amongst everything as well. He's there out of nowhere. He's managed to make good on his first stint. He's got himself right in the mix of these guys. Whew. All happening. So we've got, and it looks like Manos has made a mistake as well. So we got Manos has made a mistake and dropped back. And now we got a train of people battling for third place out of nowhere. That first stint has really put the cat amongst the pigeons, and we've got a battle on our hands for the third spot of the podium, and we're not even halfway through the race. And Manos there, Rossi, Tidders in 5th. Tidders looking to put pressure on Rossi. Enzo Jack dropping back, but Tidders all over the back of Rossi, looking to get past, almost like Rossi's holding him up. Rossi would be on slightly more worn medium tyres, a little bit less fuel. But Tidders looking to get that move done, as Enzo Jack's got P. White for company right on his rear end as well. But let's stick with these guys. It looks like Manos' mistake has dropped him back into the clutches, but he's managing to just sort of keep him at bay at this early stage of the race. I say early stage, we're coming up to halfway. There's P. White now all over the back of Enzo Jack as well. But is P. White going to make a move coming down into the chicane? No, he has backed out. So P. White has backed out and they get through the chicane. Tidders all squarely on the exit there as they come across the line to start lap 12. And Tidders get a move done on Rossi. It looks like that oversteer there is giving Rossi a bit of a break, as Enzo Jack looking to dive in at the inside of Tidders, but not quite close enough as they come through the source and on the way up through Radion and Eau Rouge. Great stuff from these guys, battling tooth and nail for these positions. But Rossi now looking to put the pressure on Manos there in third place in that slipstream. Is he going to have enough to have a dive at the inside? He's tucked right in, he does. He moves to the inside. Does Rossi get the move done? Oh, Rossi nearly just had to back out a little bit as Manos managed to get his nose in just into the apex before Rossi could call that move. A little bit of a slam in the face, really, that door closing from Manos onto Rossi, but Rossi's going to be reeling from that and thinking, I've got to make sure I'm further at the inside. But is he going to have that opportunity? As Titters now looking to move up the inside as they go through Puon. But Titters now moves to the inside, battling with Rossi. Is P White there? Looks like Enzo Jack has made a mistake. Enzo Jack has dropped off while we've been watching this. So P White has made his way up through. P White is on a move. He's on a charge. He is on the soft tyres though, so he will have a lot more grip than these guys. Rossi dropping back from Manos now into the clutches of Titters, and Titters looking to make that move. Makes you wonder if they'd be better off working together to try and keep Manos in their sights for this stint, and then pushing a bit harder for the last stint. But these guys don't really know how to give anyone a breather. They are literally battling for every inch of this track, and who can blame them? Titters now, great entrance into the chicane there. Can he get the exit right? And he does. He's tucked right in behind Rossi there. You can barely even see the front end of his car. He's so close. It looks like one long NSX as they go through La Source. And Titters still tucked in behind, so he is going to have some real benefit from the slipstream as they come up through Eau Rouge and onto the Kennel Straight. Will he get the opportunity to send one up the inside of Rossi into the chicane? He moves to the inside nice and early out of the slipstream, and he's now got the edge a little bit ahead, but you do get the stalling effect. But he's got the inside line, and he gets that move done into the chicane. So off they go, and Titters has made that move. Can he break the gap and put the pressure on Manos? We shall see. There's P White there. Enzo Jack just clinging on after losing a bit of time there to the rest of the field. Not looking that comfortable on the medium tyres, Enzo Jack. He's not got those lap times down to where he would have wanted. Still in the 206s, whereas these guys are in the 205s and even the 204s there for Rossi and Titters. So Enzo Jack losing a bit of pace on these medium tyres. Rossi now looking in his rearview mirror at P White. He's looking to make use of those soft tyres and get past. Let's see what he can do as they come around the back end of this lap to head out through Blanchimont and towards the chicane. He looks up the inside, letting Rossi know he's there, but nothing doing as they get through the chicane there and on up to complete lap 13 and move on to lap 14. As P White got close enough. Now he's dropped back a little bit, and Enzo Jack now finding his way a little bit closer. He bangs in a 204, so starting to settle down a bit is Enzo Jack, and putting in some good sector time to get that fastest lap of his race so far on the board, 204.7. Fitzy looking menacing there. There's some really quick laps there, the last three for Fitzy, 204, 203, 203. Really looking to try and latch onto the back of the guys up in front and hopefully make some... Oh, he's picked up a half-second time ban. I'm not sure where that would have been from, but unfortunately there from Fitzy on his charge there, but really going to be pushing to try and make amends from his earlier spin as we move back up where the action seems to be happening. Manos does seem to have managed to break the spirits of the guys behind after his small mistake or issue that he's had. And he is looking forward towards Panos. His Titters in fourth there, with Rossi in fifth. Still with P White for company, so P. White still not able to get the move done on Rossi, despite being on the much faster soft tyre. So he's going to be kicking himself really, because this is going to be spoiling his race a little bit. He's got on those soft tyres, which he should be doing. He should be much quicker than the guys around him on that better compound. But Rossi doing a stellar job there in fifth, just keeping himself in front and making sure P. White isn't able to really make the most of that faster compound. So P. White going to be struggling a little bit towards the latter stage of this race, when guys around him are on the soft tyres and he's on what I believe will be the mediums. So Fitzy looking a little bit closer to the back of Enzo Jack now, in the rear there as they come round the source. P. White looking at the rear end of Ross's NSX, so let's see if he's got the drive there to get the move done into Les Combes. Very Bristolian way of saying it. So he's tucked up in behind, he moves to the inside, gets the stalling effect, but is he going to get the move done under braking? He does. He's got the grip on underneath him from those soft tyres, even though they are looking very worn, and he's finally on lap 15 got that move done past Rossi and can now start looking up at the back end of Tidders. As Enzo Jack now looking to latch onto the back of Rossi as well. He's still hanging in there. Another 204, so he's found some pace. Oh, he goes wide and gets a real tank slapper on then, and just about manages to save it from going all the way round on him there. So he's dropped back now from Rossi, and Bits is going to have seen that. Bitsy is going to have seen that little mistake there from Enzo. I'm sure that's going to spur him on to make inroads into the gap in front of him. Let's have a little look down and see what the rest of the guys are doing. There's Monkey there in 9th on hard compound tyres. Smith on the mediums now, and looking ever closer to the back end of Monkey. Dragon at the back there with drop right back, so he's struggling on those mediums a bit like Enzo Jack was, to be honest. But he's now found a decent lap on lap 14, so maybe he's just coming into the operating window with that setup as he just drifts wide and kicks up a load of gravel onto the track. But definitely looking like he's struggling a little bit with that car around here in Belgium. As you can see, Kevin almost at Les Combes at the end of the Kennel Straight before the next car is coming up through Radion and Eau Rouge. So Kevin in an absolute league of his own at the moment on lap 16, just pounding in those lap times. It's easier to be consistent lap time wise around shorter tracks because the differentials are different, but look at those times: 203.5, 203.1, 203.3, and that is no mean feat around a 2 minute plus a lap. So Kevin absolutely at home in this car, at this track, and looking like he is running away with this barring any major malfunctions. Manos now definitely broken that gap broken the spirit of Manos dropping backwards, but he has managed to get out ahead of a good gap in front of from behind him from Tidders. So Tidders not able to go with Manos, but he's holding his own there in 4th place. So good stuff from Tidders. P. White for companies not been able to make the most of those soft tyres. They are looking worn, so they are going to be screaming at him now as they come round to do the final part of this lap. Rossi there in 6th with Enzo Jack looking menacing behind him. Enzo Jack having a much better race than his recent races, looking a lot more at home round here, and that car looking a lot more planted underneath him. I say that as he's squirreling all the way down the straight, but looking a lot more on the pace than he has been. So good to see him back up in amongst it. As Fitzy now looking much closer in behind, looking to really get that pressure on. As we cameraman asleep as we head up and starting. P. White has come in, so P. White now in and Rossi also in. So P. White and Rossi both in. Fuel for Rossi by the looks of it. So Rossi going to be looking at doing a longer stint on those soft tyres, considering the condition of P. White's softs. So he did 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 laps. Rossi looking like he's going to have to do 8 laps. So that's going to be a big ask, but we'll see what he can manage. Fitzy goes through right on the back of Enzo Jack. Now Enzo Jack is with P. White and Rossi diving in. What that's done, even though it's not cost Enzo Jack any time officially by those two diving out of the way, it does mean that on those straights he's lost out on the slipstream that he would have had. So that extra bit of pace that he would have found from that slipstream is gonna drop him back into the clutches of Fitzy, who's going to be in that slipstream window now, looking at the positions on the track. So Enzo Jack going to need to get his head down and get off up the road after Tillers if he wants to keep Fitzy behind him, really. But still plenty of there, and that's Sky looking a little bit menacing up in behind. So could there still be rain on the cards as we come round towards the end of lap 17. So as I said, Fitzy now in that slipstream, so Fitzy is going to be really putting that pressure on. His lap time is going to be tumbling as he benefits from that the least resistance from Enzo Jack punching the hole in the wind there in the atmosphere for Fitzy, and that car is going to be loving life in that tow. As on the brakes they head into the source and they make their way up through Radion and Eau Rouge. All petering out a little bit as the gap starts to form. Fitzy is going to be right there with Enzo Jack, but not quite close enough. But he is going purple. So great stuff from Fitzy. Really good stuff. Here's to show how powerful that slipstream is. He's obviously got the pace in him. He's got these lap times in. I mean, it's scary that Kevin has put that lap in without any form of slipstream as he's off on his own up out front. But Fitzy all over the back of Enzo Jack now, looking to find a way through, as he's looking a little bit worse on fuel as well. So and on the tyre up front, Enzo Jack looking worse. So bit of heavier on the tyres, Enzo Jack, not on the fuel, and Fitzy heavier on the fuel but not on the tyres. So those cars probably balancing out. Tidders has managed to create a bit of a gap between himself and Enzo Jack. So Tidders looking good for fourth at the moment, and obviously these guys are on similar strategies. As TLR Smith just spotted there is making his way up through the field, and I think by virtue of people stopping, obviously we lost P. White and Rossi to their final stops. P. White on the mediums and Rossi on the softs. So Rossi now in the position P. White was in, looking to make use of those soft tyres, but he has also got to be careful not to burn them out too soon. So that might be why he's dropped back at the moment, just babying those tyres a little bit, which has given P. White the opportunity to start stretching his legs up in front. As we now have Tidders in, Enzo Jack is staying out, so a little bit of a change in strategy there from what they've kind of followed each other going up to now, but Tidders has dived into the pits. Enzo Jack's carried on, so looking at the fuel, hopefully Enzo Jack's got enough to get himself round, as the rest of the guys behind him have now dived into the pit. So can Enzo Jack get that hammer down and make use of being out for one more lap, or are those tyres going to catch him out and drop him into the clutches of the guys behind? We shall see. He goes purple though in sector 1, so looking good at the moment. Tidders now leaving the pit, 63% fuel for Tidders. Fitzy taking on a little bit more, looking to really hammer that car for his final stint on what I believe will be the softs. Smith also now leaving the pits, not far behind Fitzy, so good recovery from Smith after that lap 1 incident, or lap 2 incident, early on anyway. And Monkey now coming out of the pits as well. I think these guys will all be on the soft tyres. Have a little look. Fitzy just losing out to P. White there. So P. White has overcut Fitzy and managed to get himself up into... Oh, I say overcut. I think P. White was ahead of Fitzy. So I would argue it's good stuff from Fitzy, really, getting himself back in the mix after his earlier spin. As you can see, Kevin is now dived into the pits for his final stop of the race. So Fitzy on the softs, looking to get past P. White on the mediums. Rossi on the softs has got himself up in front of TLR Smith on the... Smith has come back out... I think Smith has forgotten to change his tyres. He's out on the same set of medium tyres that he went in on, as you can see from the tyre wear. They're absolutely gutting there for Smith, because they've got to use all 3 compounds, so he's going to have to come in at the end of this lap to go onto the softs, and that is going to ruin what was a great recovery drive. Really unfortunate for Smith there to have made his mistake. He'll be giving his pit crew an absolute talking to at the end of this race for not getting that tyre switch done. And Dragon out on the softs along with Monkey there in 10th and 11th. So Kevin now coming back out, while Panos, Manos and Enzo Jack just making it to the pits there. It was 0 fuel. So where is Enzo Jack going to come out, as Panos and Manos both now leaving the pits on soft tyres, or yeah, soft tyres for Panos. Manos on the mediums going into the pits. And Manos on the mediums Manos has done not quite a Smith, but he has done a Smith. He's come back out on the same combine of tyres. So again, like Smith, he's going to have to come in the pits and change onto the soft compound tyres at the end of this lap. Otherwise he will fall foul of the regulations. Absolutely gutting there for Manos. He was a surefire thing for 3rd place. He's going to have it all to do at the end of the race to try and rescue some decent points now. And obviously Smith and Manos on the same points in the championship table coming into this race, so they're both going to be in a similar boat come the end of this race. So that's going to be an interesting little battle towards the end, potentially. But what it does mean is Titters will find himself promoted up into 3rd place, as it looks like Fitzy has made his way past Enzo Jack. So Fitzy's got himself past Enzo Jack there. Obviously these 2 guys will benefit as well, as P. White now tucked up in behind Enzo Jack and battling hard as P. White round. Oh, what a move there from P. Let's have a little look. I know I'm Enzo Jack, so I shouldn't really be celebrating, but what a move there from P. White round Pouon. Let's have a little look at that again. Let's go on chase cam and have a look at that. He's managed to get that entry. Enzo Jack's gone wide and he's just kept it nice and tight and stuck it on the inside round Pouon. What a cracking move. Great stuff from P. White to make his way up on those medium tyres as well. So he shouldn't have had as much grip as that, really, but he's made him stick and he's got that move done. So Enzo Jack is going to be absolutely kicking himself there, because on those soft tyres he shouldn't be letting that happen. That's really that's going to have to spur him on and force him to get that head down and really get these lap times in to make amends for that. Really disappointing there from Enzo Jack. Let's see what he can do as we come up into the final chicane. There he keeps it tight, gets it up. It's going to be tucked in behind as they head down towards the source. As Manos, as I said, has indeed now come back into the pits and will now drop down the grid. Great exit there from Enzo Jack as he comes out of the source on the way up towards Eau Rouge and Radion and Eau Rouge, whichever way round it is. Stuck to the back end of that car as he moves to the inside. He's looking to get that move done early. He is not lying down and letting that that move. His pride is hurt, so he's got that move done before they head through, and he's 3/10 up on Tidder's fastest lap as well. So Enzo Jack had a, oh no, he's caught, oh, he's picked up a penalty. Oh, gutted stuff there from Enzo Jack. He is rotten luck. That's all we can say. Rotten luck. So let's see if he can see what he can do to give himself the gap there to eliminate the impact of that penalty. But really gutting there for Enzo Jack, is he's going to probably drop back behind P White as a result of that penalty. We'll come back and have a little look, see how they're getting on in a minute. Let's have a little look down the field. Manos has come out in 8th place, so not the end of the world for Manos having to do that extra stop, but he could have definitely done without it, as he was a surefire for the podium. Monkey there in 9th, Dragan in 10th, and TLR Smith right at the back of the field. He looks like he's had a bit of an issue going into lap 18. Looks like a particularly slow lap, so I wonder if he's made a mistake on his in lap to, oh yeah, because that would have been his in lap, and then he's obviously had to come back in. But yeah, he's oh, of course he had to come back in and change tyres again. So really unfortunate there from Smith, who's now languishing at the back of the grid there. Kevin, well, what else can we say about Kevin? A 201.3 race settings, and he's just absolutely flying. Great stuff from Kevin. Not so great for the rest of the field, but there we go. Something we've grown accustomed to. As Panos now into the 202s as well in 2nd place, all on his own. Nobody for company. Tidder's there looking to keep Fitzy at bay. Going faster again for Tidder, so looking good in 3rd place. Looking good for that podium as a result of Manos' mistake. Fitzy in 4th. Not bad recovery drive from Fitzy after his spin earlier on. Enzo Jack has managed to keep P White at bay despite that half-second time penalty. So Enzo Jack managing to have a word with himself, give himself a bit of a talking to, and settle himself back down. Going to be looking at finding some more pace in those soft tyres though than that previous lap, even if it is the fastest lap of his race. P White doing a great job in 6th place, making his strategy work for him really. It's a shame he couldn't get the move done earlier on when he was on the soft tyres past Rossi, because he's obviously got some pace in that car. Those soft tyres, I reckon, could have got him a lot further up the field than where he currently is. So a bit of a shame for P White, but good to see him battling up at the thick end of the grid. Rossi there in 7th, he's dropped back, so his strategy has sort of impacted him a little bit. Those soft tyres looking ready to give up. He's got 2 laps to go after just coming towards the end of this one. So he'll be fine on the tyres overall condition, but it is going to be costing time. You can see Manos there, despite the extra pit stop now, really looking menacing in behind Rossi. So I can't imagine Manos is going to give much quarter as he tries to get as far up the grid as he can after making that mistake with his pit stops. So he's only looking like probably 2 and a bit seconds back from Rossi. Not quite in the slipstream window. Not quite in the slipstream window, but looking very, very menacing there as they come up through to Les Coons. As you can see there, a 202.1 from Manon, so he is a man on a mission, trying to bridge that gap and make progress. And already in early stages of lap 23, he is now basically under the rear wing. Oh no! Pushing too hard, and he's just lost it on the exit there. Let's have a little look, see what happened on board with Manos. Oh, he gets on the throttle just a bit too early with too much steering angle. and it sends him round and he's not able to catch it, and that has ruined his charge back towards the front end of the grid. So he's now going to have Monkey for company as he tries to shake off that damage, and it looks like he is going to be consolidating 8th place. Absolutely gussing there from Manos, but breathing space for Rossi. Rossi is going to be glad of that, as Manos looked like he had his number. So good stuff there as P. White gets a little bit squirrely on the exit. Enzo Jack has broken P. White's spirit by the look of it and has started to clear off up the road. So Enzo Jack looking to consolidate that 5th place. A good drive from Enzo Jack considering the performance over the last couple of races. So good stuff. Good to see. Fitzy with his comeback drive up to 4th place as they move into the final lap of the race, and Tiller's still looking really strong on that podium. And look at those lap times. I said about Kevin, so a special mention there to Tillers. Last 4 laps, so a 2030, a 2033, a 2030 and a 2035. That is some impressive consistency from Tillers. Great stuff, great performance, and really coming into his own now towards the back end of this season. And yeah, that, like I said, I'll say it. I said it about Kevin, so I have to say about everybody else. If the consistency there over a 2-minute plus lap to get that sort of consistency is great stuff. So well done, Tillers there, looking well deserving of a podium finish if you can keep it together over the last part of this lap. But we are going to have to go up to see Kevin as he's now coming down towards the chicane at the end of the final lap of the race. We haven't seen much of Kevin. But, I mean, look at those lap times. 2013, 2014, 2015. I mean, what else can be said? As he crosses the line, flash into the lights, take 1st place and keep up his 100% winning streak of this championship. Round 6 goes to Kevin. Kevin, championship leader and winner at Spa. As Panos now coming round to solidify 2nd place in this race and 2nd place in the championship. Fitzy losing more points to Panos now in that championship race, but Panos taking 2nd place for the HKR racing team here at Spa. And now let's watch Tillers come across the line for that well deserved 3rd place on the podium. He'll be enjoying that champagne and the trophy he will get on for finishing on that podium as he comes through the chicane and across the finish line. Fantastic stuff from Tillers, great result from him, and Fitzy, great recovery driving to 4th place, and Enzo Jack coming across the line in 5th to race the demons from the last few races, and 6th place goes to P. White, 7th goes to Rossi. Manos recovering to 8th place after his mistake during his pit stops, as Monkey stopping before the finishing line and doing some donuts. I mean, he had the gap to do so and he's done so, okay. Dragon crossing the line in 10th place, and Smith not quite managing to get past Dragon for 10th, but he has managed to latch onto the back of the pack. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. This has been the URL Ultimate Racing League GrTwosdays League 1 guys at Spa, and we will be bringing you the League 2 guys soon after this race has now completed. And next week we will be at whatever track the wheel throws up on Monday, so watch this space. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.